Get right there.
I'm just trying to see if you ready for the show.
I'm always ready. I ain't got no problem with a show.
I know it's hot up in this office.
Well, you got your jacket on like you not out.
Take it out. I want people to see these big old arms. You know, my mom be telling my arms and stuff.
Hey,
girl, put them arms up. She be like, put them arms up. You safe. I'm like, oh, okay.
Safe from what?
Safe from the pits of hell.
Oh, okay. So it got something to do with your arms?
Yeah, my arms. Yeah, you gotta cover. You gotta cover up when you a Christian. You got to cover it up.
Who said that?
Listen, you got to cover it up when you a Christian. Just know what I'm saying. Listen. Okay. Welcome y'all to the show. Listen.
Well, where do Christians come from then? You got to be uncovered to get little Christians here.
Let's move on.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Y'all, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about, and the camera's over here, so I might look a little sideways. But anyway, what we talking about today, honey?
We talking about whatever coin you want to talk about. That's what we talking about. But we had discussed that we talk about relationships and dealing with the hard questions that need to be asked when you trying to start a relationship with somebody. And what really breaks up most couples is not discussing how to handle the finances. Because let me tell you something, ain't no pressure in a relationship like financial pressure. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, now let me tell y'all where we got this conversation from. We were catching up, binging like we do on Ready to Love. Not Ready for Love, but Ready to Love.
And we're so interested in this season's Ready to Love because it's got two local homeboys on it. First of all, we got Nephew Tommy.
Nephew Tommy, come on.
From Houston, right here. And we had, notice I said hey, our own, very own radio personality, KG Smooth.
KG Smooth,
come on. Let me tell you something. KG Smooth was...
he was smooth.
He was smooth, but he wasn't enough KG in it.
I think that's what went wrong with it. He should have just brought his whole personality.
Yeah, he should have left KG Smooth on the radio and brought Chris to the show. See, his real name is Chris.
Okay, Chris.
He should have brought Chris, which is what people, when women looking for a man, they looking for the authentic man. They don't want your representative. Some of them fall in love with your representative, but the problem with them falling in love with your representative is, hell, you got to stay your representative all day long, every day. And let me tell you something. When you are a representative, you can fall out of character real fast.
Real fast. And
when you fall out of character, sometimes a woman realizes she don't like the real you.
Well, I feel like, let me tell y'all what happened. So he was crushing on this girl, right? Right. This girl was crushing on him. She was feeling him, and she was saying he's not her usual regular type or whatever. Then all of a sudden, they bring in a friend. Your friend get the quiz, the dude you're interested in.
See, hold on. And let me tell you something about that bringing in the friend thing. I like that Nephew Tommy and them did that because, see, let me tell you something. That's a key element when you bring a friend in. See, I understood why they did it, and I love that concept. Because let me tell you something. Your friends know you and know the type of person that would be good for you because they know you so well. And they also look at the man that you're interested in a different eye than what you would. Because sometimes you can be enamored and looking at it through a rose-colored set of glasses. But your homegirl glass is clear. She can see the clown in it that you couldn't see. See, you'll put up with the clown in it because you like the way he looked.
Yeah,
he
like
smelled good.
And he got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pack. I mean 6 pack.
Right there too. But anyway.
And so you just got so caught up with how he looked.
You so enamored with how he looked in the little swim shorts and all. You looking at all that. Yeah. And his arms big, and he got a goatee and all that. Man, come on, man.
Which brings me to what the question was.
Right. One of the hard. See, like me and you always talk about.
I'm trying to get it out, y'all.
A lot of times people don't like to ask the difficult questions when they get.
That's right. They don't want to have the conversation.
But let me tell you,
because you're scared.
Right, you scared. You scared you're gonna lose. Then you won't have your little piece of chocolate. You see what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna worry about that. But what happened was, her homegirl asked one of the difficult questions, and that she had never even thought of. And she found out that this might not be the man for her. I'm gonna let you open up with the question that she asked, baby. Because this is the kind of question you women need to be asking your man.
How do you see the finances for the household
being handled?
Woo! What did he say, baby?
Huh? He said out of his crazy ass mouth, well, the mortgage need to be 50-50. This need and
I'll pay the cable and
I'll pay. Yeah, and the girlfriend looked at him like, what?
Yeah, the homegirl. The
other girl was like,
the homegirl was like, boo, listen.
Look here, we don't do
what you say
in mortgages and important bills.
And see, the thing is, like I say about the conversation, she is ready to have a baby.
Right.
And she can take care of herself. See, a lot of men say, well, I want an independent woman and all of this. But how important is it as women? How do we feel about our man being able to handle everything if he have to? You see what I'm saying?
Well, see, the thing
we are thinking we're not saying I don't want to work. I don't. I'm just being real, but. But that's just me. Woo. That's just me.
I just want to be honest.
We're saying if something happened and I can't work, can you carry everything, or do we really?
Are you even willing to?
Yeah,
that's the question. Not can you? Are you even?
Are you willing?
Because sometimes you may not be able to. But see, the thing is, as a man, if the problem arises where your wife can't work, are you willing to go get a second job, a third job, or whatever? I mean, are you even willing to start slanging dope if you have to? I mean, let's just be honest. You got to take care of these bills.
But you know what?
Are you ready to go to the end? See, let me tell you something. Because I done seen some women that you might have to do that with, because they have it so that you gonna have to have all the money sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But so
you need to go and take the course on how to slang dope.
Well, it ain't no real course. It's just numbers. Turn 1 into 2. That's hustling.
Okay, so you just gave them the course. Listen, we do not promote.
And y'all send me my money for that lesson.
We do not promote selling drugs. What we're saying is, you got to know from the beginning what you're getting into. Right. And I think a lot of times we don't have the conversations necessary. Then when you get in that relationship and 2 months down the line, you get to saying, well, I don't recognize him. This ain't what I signed on for. But it really is.
And you know what? I'm gonna be funny. I'm gonna be honest. There was a chick on there last night. I don't know if you caught it, but I was listening to her. I think it was on the 3rd episode. It might have been the 2nd episode. She said she was on the show because she hadn't got out of a marriage that very shortly ago. And she said a week into her marriage, she called her pastor and told him.
She said a week.
She said a week.
Oh,
a week with it. She said a week into her marriage, she called her pastor and said, I think I'd have made a mistake.
Oh my Lord.
A week.
And I think now let all the men hear that video. I'm just gonna move on.
How in the world do you call your pastor a week into your marriage and tell him you think you made a mistake?
But ain't that a good thing?
Why did you call him a week before?
But even though you made the leap, ain't it? It's a good thing, right? That she did it a week instead of going 4 years living in misery, knowing she wasn't unhappy.
Well, my thing is this. why did you even get married then? If after a week you knew, I mean, what you didn't know the week before? You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is people will ignore the red flags just to get married and waste out. You know, I done seen people spend $10,000 on a wedding and be divorced in 2 months.
$10,000.
and be divorced in 2 months. What the heck? You could have spent that money on something else.
You really could have. You really could have. Now, what I'm looking at too is, and we're gonna go. I want to go over into why she walked away from a dude. I wanna just go into that in just a few minutes.
Right.
But the bottom line is, if you're with somebody you're scared to have a conversation with, you with the wrong person.
With the wrong man.
If you are scared to say what you need to say and what you want from a relationship, so you got to be straight up about what you need and what you want from a relationship. You can't keep running around talking about. I like how Rita said that. That's right, Rita, because they prepare for the wedding and not the marriage. You own it. And it's the truth.
Rita is right.
It's the truth. Now, I could be mad at this lady, but then again, hey, you know, let's be real.
Hey, let me tell you something. And another thing was that really had me perturbed, I must say, about the situation last night. The lady said that her and, you know, there was another couple on there where the dude had met the lady before and dated her, and she ghosted.
And she ghosted.
And now they were back on the show together again.
And she all up to
and she all up on them.
Wait a minute.
Let me ask you a question, fellas. Would you offer a lady a second chance to destroy you? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Why would you? I wouldn't even look. Let me tell you something. If I met her and we had to talk before in real life, and now we both on a show, don't you even come around me. Don't even sit by me.
Don't you
I act like we in a whole. Look here. Act like you don't even see me.
I'm good. I'll be like, hey.
Anytime you come my way, I'll go that way.
I'll be like that. Or I'll just throw a white sheet over me because you ghost me.
Either I do the Nate Robinson challenge and fall on my face. Like fight to have a sex.
Nate fell out, didn't he? Nate hit the floor, didn't
and laid there.
And laid there. And then they brought a stool to get him up out the thing. He still didn't get up. They still had to. They had to get up. They had to get up.
And see, that's how that dude should have felt when she ghosted him, like Nate did. Fall on the floor, and now your
family. How you do it?
And then your family had to lift you back up and sit you on the stool, and you gonna give her another shot to knock you out?
You gonna give it? And then this is the thing, and I don't know if people see it. She's so arrogant with it. Which listen, ain't nothing wrong with, you know, if that's the way you choose to live, you're a little arrogant, okay, whatever.
Baby, I'm arrogant.
Yes, you are. Let's move on. We're not talking about you. Let's move on. You're married. Okay.
What that got to do with bitch? Never mind.
See, okay, and then what gets me, because we're gonna get into finance just a bit. Then what gets me is how this little girl sit here and sabotage my homegirl. I forget what her name is.
Oh, I can't remember all them names.
No, I can't remember all the names.
They all start running together after a while. But anyway.
She sabotaged us. We'll talk about that on another show. But anyway, let's get
into it. Was it Joy? It was Joy. That was her name.
I don't know what her name was. Yeah. I'm going to find them out and I'm going to write them all down.
Right. That's what you got to do.
But anyway, so Ready for Love.
Ready to Love.
Ready to Love. That's when you Google it.
Yeah.
Finances. So he told her we're going to go half on everything, including the baby, you know.
Yeah.
she just, when I say her whole face just.
She flipped out.
She went from.
See, but let me explain something to you though. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, right?
Do it, baby. I'm
gonna play the devil's advocate because as a man, you kind of be leery about some women until you got to really get to know them. See, like I got to know you before we got married. You know, we dated and all. Now I had my mind made up after 2 weeks that I was gonna marry her, but it was 8 months before we actually set up a ceremony. But them 8 months, I was learning this little short chocolate woman because I learned what she needed and what she didn't need
Yeah.
And what she was willing to do and what she wasn't willing to do. What I was willing to do and what she wasn't willing to, what I wasn't willing to do. See, like me and my wife, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Me and my wife, right? My wife, I know this for a fact. She don't like to wash dishes.
Hated it.
Me, I don't like to fold clothes.
Oh, I hate washing dishes.
So my wife, I would do my own laundry because I like putting the clothes in the washing machine and the dryer. But I don't like folding.
He loved the pack.
I love to push that button and wash the clothes in that front load washer and dry. I love that.
Folding them.
But I'm not folding no damn clothes.
No,
I would bring all the basket in and everything, sit it down, and she start folding. Now, when it comes to washing dishes, all she'll do is go put them in the sink.
That's it.
And I get up in the morning, run the water, but I love washing dishes. It don't bother me.
Don't get me wrong. I get in there, clean the kitchen up.
Oh, yeah, but she ain't going to wash the damn dishes. But she ain't going to put her hands in that water. I think she's scared of that $40, $50 nail job she get done.
No, that's not what it is. That's not.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not worried.
At this stage in my life, now y'all listen to this. At this stage in my life, I made a decision when all of them kids grew up that it was some things that I wasn't gonna do.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. Me and James had the conversations.
Right.
I said, James, I want to enjoy my life, the rest of my life. Right. I want to have a good time.
Right.
He had a motorcycle. I say, you're perfect. I want to ride the motorcycle. You see what I'm saying? I have sacrificed so much for my children and everything. Now I want to just be Queenie. I want to be me.
Right. And see, the thing about it is, some things you have to understand what you like washing the dishes to me is not really a chore. Mm-hmm. It's my time to me. Yeah. I can sit there and chill out. I have a little stool and everything that I put in front of the sink and sit on it.
And he got his phone in there.
And turn Magic 102 on my radio, on my phone, whatever, and sit there and listen to music and wash the dishes. I run me some good hot soapy water. And I don't even want my dishes in the dishwasher. I trust my hands. I trust my hands washing my dishes. I don't trust no damn dishwasher. So I put my water hot as I can stand it, put my hands in there and wash it, give me a pot scraper and everything, and clean my dishes. And put them in the rack and watch them drain and dry. I'm just being honest.
But let me ask you a question, honey.
All of that is soothing to me.
Now, let me just throw this out there, because some men think that's woman's work. Do it take away from your manhood to wash the dishes?
Baby, let me tell you what I've done this week. I went out there and washed the dishes, and I put a starter on the damn car this week. Out there in the driveway. My daughter's car broke down, and I went right out there and got my toolbox and put her damn starter on her car. I ain't paying nobody to do nothing. I can do myself. Now, I don't like to work on cars. Don't nobody call me talking about no damn starters. I'm just letting you know, I don't work on everybody's car. I worked on my daughter's car because I love her. And I wasn't paying nobody to get up under their damn hood for her, so I went on to get it myself.
I'm glad we're talking about this. Right. Because, again, you have to have the conversation of how you want your my sister-in-law always say this: start it off the way you want it to go. Exactly. And a lot of times you get started with something and say I don't mind. Then 2 years into
your ass mind.
You mind. You go ahead and do that. Oh, I don't need that. Oh, we don't have to have that.
Yes, we
then
do.
2 years later,
you have to have
it. So it's like, start it off right. Start it out. Now, there's certain ways my husband talked in the barber shop. And so when we got together, he was talking like that. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. It was hard for me at first to say what I needed to say to him because I'm short, and he's loud.
And big.
Well,
and tall.
Used to be bigger.
Yeah, but hey, look at him.
But I felt intimidated.
I'm a little big dude now.
And yeah, you're a little big dude. I was intimidated. So I had to learn him and learn how to talk to him. See, because sometimes as women, we don't learn how to talk to our mate. We talk to them any kind of way and then wonder why they fly off the handle. But you got to also know his language and he has to know your language. I had to tell him, hey, all that little cussing right there
ain't necessary.
Ain't necessary for me.
But see, the thing about it, let me explain something to people too. Whether the man or the woman is the, you know, you in a relationship, you're gonna always have one dominant
you gonna
personality.
Have a dominant.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that dominant personality has to also have a understanding side. See, I talked about this on my Man Cave show shortly this past week, that as a man or a woman, I'm gonna just say it, man and woman relationship, you have to learn how to argue with each other.
You gotta learn it.
There is an art to argue, you know, because you want to argue and get your point across to each other, because sometimes good understanding comes out of that slight confrontation. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, you also want to be able to sleep next to each other peacefully, without you thinking she's gonna put a butcher knife in your chest
or cut something
or bust
off.
You across your forehead.
Shout out to Bobby.
No, let's not shout out to Bobby. The hell you say? No, we're not going that route. But like I say, the thing is, you want to make sure that you argue or have misunderstandings in a constructive way.
That's right.
Put it like that. You don't want to tear your mate down so bad that y'all can't bounce back from it.
And then she don't recognize you.
Right.
Remember I was telling you that sometimes when you are going in, it's like a childhood thing, childish part of you that think, I'm gonna say the worst thing. I'm gonna tear you limb from limb. I'm gonna watch what I say. I can rip you apart, but you don't realize you're ripping your mate apart.
Right.
You ripping them apart, and when they
you trying to do it for the rest of your life, they may not heal.
Well, watch it, but they will. But they'll heal with a resistance towards you. You get what I'm saying? Is
like a wound that has a callus on the top of it. It gets hard each time, and pretty soon it's gonna get so damn hard you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it. So, and that you don't want. So, now the thing about it is also when we're talking about wounds and scars. You see what I'm saying? In relationships, we don't want our relationship so wounded that it can't bounce back.
Beyond repair.
Yeah, because it can get to that real fast too.
You never call your woman out of her name. Woo. You never listen, babies. Please, if you're listening to me today, please, if this the person that you have chosen to spend, it's just and I got chills saying this. Please don't call your wife out of her name. Jesus be a fence all around me, unless it's her nickname. You understand me? Or a childhood name that the mama gave her or something. You know, you gotta watch those too. But please don't call your mate. Because you'll wake up in the middle of the night and she just sitting there
looking at
you.
My wife is either Queenie or baby or boo or little mama. Shawty. Come here, Shawty.
Shorty,
yeah, all of that. Yeah. Shorty got a rise on me.
Now, so we started off the show. We wanted to talk about must realize. That's right, Rita. You can't tear down your own team. Yes. Listen, Rita on this thing this morning. Like now, let me tell y'all something.
On a hot tin roof today, as they say.
So we want to talk about finances, right?
Right. And see, the thing about it is, I want to talk about this part. Let me.
You want to start it out?
Let me forward this with this information. You know, many times today we have households where they are no longer. Men want to run the household like it's a one-income house, but really it needs two incomes. What I mean by that is you want to run the house like you're the only one working. And you the only one putting money in.
Lord.
But that woman is also working, having to work because of the things that y'all want as a family.
As a family.
But see, you have to be cognitive of the fact that she's working outside the household too. See, we have a lot of men who have the old style standards, but there's a new wave era that's happening with the wife now. You know, we want to run the house like Paw did.
Yeah, but
I run everything.
But you ain't got the.
But you ain't footing the bill like Paw did.
Was.
Yeah.
Papa was listen.
Papa brought everything to the house.
To the table.
You see what I'm saying? But you want to go half on everything.
You brought the wood for the table.
No, hold up. You want to go half. You want to go half on the bills, but you want her to do all the household work. The household. Is you crazy?
You done lost.
You want her to wash your clothes, iron your shirt like Mama used to do, Papa, and make sure all his drawers is folded up and ready to go neat and nice. Have his breakfast, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the table when you get there. But she been out at a job 8 to 10 hours too. That ain't how life works nowadays.
Not how life
so you got to understand you can't have it both ways.
Let me share a story.
But hold on, let me finish what I wanted to get to was. But women have to understand that if you want the kind of man if you want the kind of household where you don't have to pay no bills, you don't have to go out and work and all that, you got to be willing to be able to live the lifestyle that man can provide for you.
Oh,
that's where I'm trying to get there.
If that's the way you
want it.
Because you have a lot of women say, oh, he gotta do this and he gotta make the money and I don't want to work. But you gotta live. See, and I'm gonna tell you something. That's what I was gonna get to with my mother, which she was a perfect example of this. When my dad met my mom was a teacher. And my mom, they got married. My mom started having babies. And my daddy said, he said, you don't have to work. He didn't say, don't work. He said, you don't have to work.
Right.
My dad set out to make sure that he made enough money to take care of his whole household, whether his wife worked or not.
But see,
and my mom, and my mom was a wise woman.
Right.
And she got it from her mother.
Right.
You live within what your husband can provide. I'm just saying it's facts. And plus, that keeps peace in the household.
Exactly.
That keeps peace in your marriage. What's more important? What's more important is a lot of women that are in a constant competition with other wives and
the Joneses.
With
having things with the Joneses, as they call it. That's what they say in the hood. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
But that's why it's important to have a conversation before you get married.
Right.
Like this young lady we are talking about in particular from Ready to Love. She was saying that she wants to have a baby. And yes, she can take care of everything right now. But what happens when she has to be home? Because she want to be home and she want to take care, and because she knew that her body won't, she was having trouble with carrying a child full term.
Right.
So I like the fact that she had that on her mind. Right. Even though he was trying to say whatever he thought she wanted to hear.
Right.
He missed the boat.
See that let me tell you something. That's why I tell people all the time, be authentic with people when you're dealing with a relationship. Be authentic. As you saw on my Facebook page this past week, I put on my Facebook page and I tell anybody this. Give people the truth about you.
Please do it.
And let them decide what the hell they want to do with the truth. Give people the truth all the time. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the day, I could lie with the best stuff. Man, let me tell you something. I could be dealing with 5 different women and give them 5 different stories.
Jesus be offended.
But back then, I can remember the lie I told this one. Now I can't remember that.
Baby.
So guess what that's what I learned to do, baby.
Tell the truth.
Just tell the damn truth. Because let me tell you something, you will never forget the truth.
You'll never forget.
Because you did that for real, and that's who you really are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But there's some folks that done lied so much that they believe they don't lie.
That's when you got a problem.
That's when you got problems.
Your life is in a shell. I'm just being honest.
So, I mean.
Baby, you're going to need some coffee to go with your sugar in a minute.
Listen, baby, you should have brought me such a big cup. Now I got to put a whole half a pack.
Well, you can put the 2. Never mind. But
watch yourself.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, you have to be your authentic self with a person. Yeah. And I always tell people, give people the truth and let them decide what they want to do with it. But see, he thought he knew her enough to give her the answer that he thought she wanted to hear.
He was infatuated.
Because he was talking about, well, I gave her that answer because so many women nowadays want to be independent and want to, you know, make sure that they are equal to the man. And I told her half and half, but he really in his heart didn't feel that way. But that's what you told her.
But you know, another
you should have told her the way you really felt.
I'm gonna tell you another thing I noticed about her when she was first talking to him. Well, she wasn't honest from the beginning, because she said from the beginning that he wasn't her type. Right. He wasn't who she usually would go at. Right. And so she wasn't honest from the beginning. So when that came up, she jumped quick. She got out of there quick. Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, so her intentions anyway was looking for a way out, if you ask me. I mean, I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But yeah. And stop getting with the, if you don't like something, listen, let me tell y'all something. Half of y'all be compromising and you end up in a relationship with somebody you really didn't like from the beginning. But because you just didn't want to tell them no, or you just didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, and you lead them on. You lead them on. And then you end up cheating on them. You end up doing all kinds of twisted stuff. Leave folk alone. Get out of the way and let the person they supposed to be with show up. Because you are doing nothing. Right. You in the way. Yeah. I just wanted to drop that one for free. For free. But anyway, yeah, like she was saying, you have to honestly figure out if the person that you're dealing with is somebody you can see yourself with long term. Long term. You know, because and the only way you know long term is you honestly tell them what you expect. Yeah. You know, because we all have an expectation from a long-term relationship. That's right. We have some certain things, like I used to tell my partners when we used to talk. I have 2 other homeboys that are close homeboys of mine, and we all 3 of us are married, and we talk about the fact that, you know, your marriage looks different from my marriage. You know, we'll have discussions and we will have venting sessions where. And I had to tell them, you know, it's not my job as your partner to tell you what to do in your marriage. Because I said this a long time ago, and my partner Fulton will attest to it. Like I told him, there's some things in your marriage that you will put up with that I wouldn't put up with. And there's some things in my marriage that I'll put up with that you wouldn't put up with. So I can't ever tell you what you should do about certain situations. Now, the thing is, I'm a listening ear at all times. And I can tell you what I would have done. That's wise, though. But I don't want you to run back and try to do what I would have done. But that's wise, though. A lot of people don't have wisdom when it comes to relationships and marriages. They just say anything out that come off the top of their head. Right. But when you're dealing with somebody that's dating, and you're dealing with somebody that's in a serious relationship, and then you got somebody that's married. All 3 of those are different scenarios, and you can't just be passing out advice willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? like I'm married. Right. I wouldn't go to a single person for no marital advice. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go to somebody, no offense, because I've been divorced before, widowed, and all that. But I would not, if I'm married, well, I am. Right. I wouldn't go to somebody that just came out of a divorce for no marriage counsel. It's no offense to you. It's just that I wouldn't do it. Well, baby, how could that be offensive when it's the truth? The thing is, that's just like pulling up at the red light and a dude come up to you with a cup and you ask him for financial advice. What the hell are you doing? Hey, I'm going to give you this 25 cents. Now, but what's your take on the stock market this week? Yes. Boy, hush. Who should I invest in? Yeah, what should I invest in? You should invest in a cup and come out here with me. And come out here if that's what you, because that's really as far as his financial knowledge goes. So that's just like asking somebody who's recently divorced or single, how do you keep your marriage together? They have no damn idea. But I'm gonna go here too. And a person that's in a marriage they don't want to be in. Right. If you married, you ain't got no business talking to them. Exactly. Not about no advice. No. Girl, if I was you. You know who the best person to talk to is? Though I'm being honest with Jesus. God. Take it to him. Take it to God. Yeah. Any of your troubles, any of your woes, you talk to him. Open up his word. Yeah, and exactly. Well, that's what I mean by take it to God. Open up his word. Yeah, look, open up his word and get in there. But you know, people
look for any advice that'll suit their need at the time. You know, people like to cater. You know, it's just like I say, you can give somebody an answer, but if it ain't the answer that they want,
oh my God,
then they're not going to adhere to.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep looking till they find the answer that they want.
And you gotta be careful about people that come to you too for advice.
Exactly.
Because you gotta figure out, are they coming to me for advice because they're taking in what they really want it, or are they coming to me because I tell them everything they want to hear?
Exactly.
Which one is it? You know. But anyway, so they Ready to Love, they called in the friends.
Woo! I love that movie.
They called in the friends, let the friends do evaluation. Now, that's for dating.
Right.
That's for dating.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't call in friends about my marriage.
No, you better not.
I just want to put that one out there for free.
Let me explain something.
Not about your marriage.
Let me explain something too. I'm gonna explain to you when I knew it was time for me to get married to Queen. And I tell people this all the time. And if it doesn't happen to you with the person that you're dealing with in a short time, you know, it needs to happen early in a relationship. This is the key thing. I knew this was my wife when I was doing everything I wanted to do before I met her. That's for sure. I mean, you know, I was single. I was doing everything, as Usher say, doing what a single man does. You see what I'm saying? All that a single man want to do, I was doing it. But when I met my wife, I knew who she was by within 2 to 3 weeks of she and I being together and dating each other and realizing that we wanted to be in, you know, because she let me know that she wanted to be in a committed relationship, and I let her know that that's what I was looking for early, first of all. Then the other element that solidified it for me was when I started making decisions that I had been making before in my life, and when I tried to make the decision, she was my first consideration. You know what I'm saying? I considered how it would make her feel, how she would understand, or if she would understand before I went ahead and made the decision. You know, and the thing about it is with no other woman had I ever done that. Even when I was married at 20-something years old, I didn't give a damn what my wife thought. I'm doing what I want to do. And when I was in other relationships with women, if I wanted to do it, I just did it. I didn't even say, well, how's it gonna make her feel? How is she? And I started realizing I wouldn't do nothing that I wouldn't do if she was standing right there next to me. You know, you stop, you know, doing things that you wouldn't do if she was right there next to you. And see, the thing is, that's why I tell women, you got to have there are 2 strong elements you want to look for in a man. First one, well, 3. Responsibility, accountability, and integrity. Those are the 3 things that you really want to look for in a man. Is he accountable for his crap? Does he look for a way out and an excuse all the time?
All the time.
Is he responsible for what he does? Does he take responsibility for it? That's where the responsibility and accountability comes. Or does he always try to maneuver his way out of things and come up with an excuse? And is he integral? Does he do the right thing even when ain't nobody looking?
Come on now.
That's what integrity is. And that goes a long way. That's why women end up with guys who cheat on them, who ain't honest with them, because he ain't honest with his damn self. How is he going to be honest to you if he ain't honest to himself? You see what I'm saying? So you have to look for that. And women often ask, well, how can what do I need to do to keep him from cheating? Not a damn thing. You can't do nothing. You can't keep nobody. You can't do nothing for a man.
But say you can't keep nobody that don't want to be kept.
You can't do nothing for a man that's going to keep him from cheating if he wants to cheat.
If he wants to cheat, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
You know, this is free knowledge. I'm just free game, as they say.
Free game.
Free game. That's
which
one of my pages too. I got a page called Free Game because I don't have no problem giving it to you.
This is what I want to say.
And the way I got my free game was playing the game.
Listen.
Learning the hard way.
Yeah, you learn hard. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You can't fix. What K. Michelle say? You can't raise a man.
No.
And a lot of times, what we get with men, that we just, oh, he got potential. Oh, we can fix it. Oh, if he just see how much he loved me, he'll change. Oh, I'm gonna be the best woman he ever had, and he'll stop. He won't be no player no more. No, a man stop being a player when he ready to stop being a player.
Way before
it don't you. Have nothing to do
before you.
With you. And I know it just sounds good that you just was the best he ever had, and you changed him.
You could change him if you wear diapers.
Let's move on.
That's about the only way you're gonna be able to change him. But let me explain. You always say this too, don't you? If let me tell you something. They put unreached potential in the ground every Saturday down at the end of Color in Paradise Cemetery. They put unreached potential in the ground because he had potential to be so much, but he never reached it. You see what I'm saying? And women will marry potential,
which is dead weight,
that never gets reached. You might see it in him, but guess what? He don't see it in him.
Which is dead weight.
And he's never gonna see it in him if he doesn't want it.
And it's just like the show title say, Ready to Love. He's not ready to love. Right. He's not ready. He's ready to date. He's ready to sow sow his roll oats.
Yeah.
He's ready for that. He's ready. If he's playing games, he's ready for a game. Okay?
Well, can I put it like this? He might be ready for a good lay, but he ain't ready for a good stay. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, honey.
You want somebody that's ready for a good stay.
Yeah, well.
Now you may get a lay or two in there,
but that goes back to what we were saying.
Right.
You need to find out what they want from the beginning. And watch this. I always tell ladies, people say wait 3 months, 3 dates, boo. In 3 dates, by the 3rd date, you don't know what you're working with. Right. If you pay attention. See, don't let him razzle dazzle, and you get razzle dazzle, you know.
Right.
And all of a sudden, girl, I got this man. He's fine, girl. He took me here. He took me there. You don't know whose money he using. You don't know whose car he driving, and you don't know if that's his mama. If he's staying with his mama or his mama staying with him. You don't know the difference.
Oh, he came over there in his baby mama car.
In his baby mama car while she at work.
Exactly.
His baby mama car while she at work at Walmart.
And let me. I also want to talk about this other chick that was on there. Now she said something, and let me tell you something. You can find something profound in stupidity.
In stupidity.
In the midst of stupidity, sometimes that stupid person will say something that's so profound. And I'm gonna tell you what was profound that she said. Because the thing was, as crazy as she is a lawyer in real life. And that's the one called Shay. Remember her with the pretty wavy hair? She was a nice looking girl.
Wait.
Shay, the lawyer. The one that was
her name was Jessica, wasn't it?
No, Shay is the lawyer.
Okay. Shay.
But let me tell you something. What Shay said was she approaches relationships like she does the courtroom.
Oh my Lord.
She says in a trial, she has what she calls a threshold question. Many of us in our life need to get threshold questions.
Well, I don't trust nothing Shay got to say anyway.
Well, I don't trust. Let me tell you something. That's why I said in the midst.
Okay.
That's why I said in the midst of her stupidity.
Yeah, because she turned right around and said,
"Go ahead.
It's gonna be a lot of." You have to watch the first part. She said there's gonna be a lot of men there, and she's feeling famished. She said that she has the potential to have 5 husbands.
Right.
But she hopes she only walk away with one.
Right. That's why I said in the midst of her
her foods.
She said something profound. Now what Shay said now, and I'm gonna tell you this here. What Shay said was profound, that was you need to have a threshold question. And I liken that to the thing that's the same thing you heard people say, what's your deal breaker?
What's your deal breaker?
See what I'm saying? Because your life has to have a deal breaker.
Oh my God.
Something that you will absolutely not put up
with. My God.
You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it, Shay said she approaches every relationship like it's a court battle. And her threshold question, though, out of all of this, now you may have a threshold question that was such as, what is your view on household finances? What is your view on having kids? What is your view on the house we live in? What, you know, where are we gonna live?
What if I have a stroke?
Right.
What if you have a stroke?
Exactly.
How do your sisters and your mama are they involved in what kind of relationship?
Yeah, because another girl asked the dude that because he said he got 4 sisters. Remember the girl said, well, how is your sisters and your mother, how do they deal with your relationship? Or are they the kind of sisters that ain't no woman good enough for you?
Yeah.
So she knew that, and he said, yeah, and that was it. We're done. Because I ain't finna sit and battle with your sisters.
And your mama.
Exactly. See, my wife understood that my sisters and my mama, I love them all, but they don't stay in my house. And they don't have nothing to do with my damn house.
But let's go back though, because some people, they want that. They need that. They consider that important. So I'm not trying to downplay what you need.
Right. But
I'm
that's
saying,
why
but for me,
threshold.
I'm telling you, for me, I don't like nobody in my relationships because I saw the wreckage that comes from it. Now, if that's what you like,
the storm
do you, boo-boo? But I'm gonna tell you something. If you go that route, you have the potential of losing your mate due to family discussions. That's all I want to tell you.
You ain't gonna be there for.
And I learned it by experience. Exactly. But let me tell you something. When I was in that type of relationship, this is exactly what I told him. This is exactly what I told that young man.
Yeah.
I say, unless I was married. You don't know.
Okay.
I was married, and I told this young man, I say, unless your mama gonna be in the boudoir with us, then she ain't got nothing to say about what's going on over here. I hate to be mean. I ain't being mean. I'm just being for real. Because when all the struggles happening, when all the stuff going down, ain't nobody to be found.
Right.
But as soon as somebody feel like being messy and all up in, they gonna come and they gonna shipwreck what you have unless you lay down the law from the beginning.
Right.
And I had to learn that the hard way. Because I had people running out through my house, showing up without calling. People. His daddy, let me tell you about this. Oh, I gotta testify. His daddy went and got a loan on my car.
Without you knowing.
Without me knowing. Then showed up. And the son says, ain't y'all gonna give us some of that money? You know how they say, ain't you gonna divvy that up?
Right.
And the mama says, this loan ain't y'all loan, that ain't y'all money. But it's on my car. I say, y'all going to jail. Wait a minute, what you mean? You heard what I said.
As y'all
going to jail.
I'm
just telling you.
Prior to me showing up, my wife had been through the ring.
I've been through something. That's why I tell people with relationships, ask me.
So I had to understand
what
to take this woman through and not what to take her through.
I'm just telling you. Ask me a question. When it comes to relationships, I love to talk about it, and I love to let people know the pitfalls of relationships. You want a man that can stand independently on his own and think for himself. Because if I'm confused or I'm having a hard time making a decision, I don't need for him to go check with his mom. I don't need for him to go check with his sisters. I need you to on 2 feet, even if the decision you make is the wrong decision. Right. I want to see you stand there and make it. And then I'm gonna stand with you on the decision you made.
And let me explain something to you too. I'm glad you brought that up about the decision making, because I always, and see, that's another thing about my wife that drew me to her, is I always wanted a woman to trust me wholeheartedly. See, and the thing about it is, I'm gonna tell you like this though. When you got a woman who trusts you, she got to trust you all the way. And the thing about it is, the reason why I say that is because if I tell my wife to do something a certain way, I want her to do it that way. And even if she don't think that's the way it should be done. But the thing is, where the trust comes in is my wife will do it the way I tell her to do it. Now the thing is, if she
and
do
he
it,
don't mean tell, he mean ask, y'all. Cause
well, I mean,
I got a gentle giant.
The way I tell, I mean, you tell your wife how you want something done, and that's about right. But however you want to tell, ask, whatever you want to say. But the thing is, she trusts me enough that if she does it the way I say it should be done, if it doesn't work, she also know that she can come back to me and say, hey, baby, I did that, what you said, and it didn't work out. And now she gonna look at me like, fix it. So what you gonna do?
That is.
And that's how she, and you know what? I would rather have a woman like that than a woman that say, oh, hell, I ain't listening to that Negro.
I'm gonna do what I want.
And then she go do it the way she want to do it, and then it don't work, and then come running back to me and holler about, well, baby, we ain't got this, we ain't got that, this didn't work out. And then I'm like, well, did you do it? No, I didn't do it that way. I did it like this. Then that's where the arguments come in.
But you know what? I like peace.
And exactly, I do too.
So, and I don't find it weak to compromise with my husband.
See, but let me say this. But the thing is, when you got somebody like that, you have to know that they have not made a decision without your consideration. You see what I'm saying? I ask you to do things, but I consider you when I'm asking you to do them or telling you to do them. You know what I'm saying? I don't just do them because that's the way I want it done.
Well, I had to learn how to trust him first. You
right.
know? Like I said in the beginning, I looked at what you showed me. First thing you told me was I came to make your life easier. Right. You didn't say you didn't just play games and just start buying stuff, to get my mind all razzle dazzle.
Manipulative.
You showed me
manipulative type behavior.
Yeah, you demonstrated who you are. Right. And a lot of us are not allowing the man to demonstrate who he is. Right. Which means, give an example. Right? Right. That means show me who you are.
What you mean? What you mean by what you
show me what kind of man you are. Show me what kind of provider you are. Show me that, because I'm gonna tell you something. And he laughs at me when I say it, but when I first met him, I said, all I need to know is, can you buy some tissue? What I was saying to him was, can you provide necessities? Or because I had my kids were starting to be adults, but I still had needs for my household. I was not caught up with looks, and even though he's a handsome sack of love, I wasn't caught up with the outside appearance. I needed to know that if I get sick, if I can't do something, can I count on you
to provide for this house?
Can I count on you? Are you gonna love my kids the way I love them, or are you gonna drive them away from me? Right. You get what I'm saying? Because the worst thing,
believe it or not, funny as that question sounds, that was a profound question, and that was her threshold question.
Yeah, it was.
You see what I'm saying? Whether or not can you buy tissue for this house? Will you buy tissue for this house? Meaning, are you gonna provide the things that are necessary for this household to function?
Yeah.
Whether I'm able to help or not.
Yeah.
And that was key.
Because if I
and guess what I did? I went out and bought a big old thing of Sam tissue.
If I'm still functioning like a single woman,
right?
What I need you for?
Exactly.
If I'm still walking,
struggling,
and I think we get so caught. I'm independent. I don't think we need to know the difference, because people think, well, I want to be strong and independent. I don't need to text no man to me. I don't want nobody telling me what to do and all this kind of stuff. Me and James don't have that type of relationship where we telling each other what to do. It's like we know what each other need. We will request things of each other, ask, because first of all, we don't have to be with each other.
Right.
We choose to be with each other.
Right. It's a choice.
Like people say, well, girl, I hope he asks me to marry him. I want him to pick me. Girl, pick yourself. First, pick yourself. Right. and let him know you are the prize instead of sitting back like he's the prize. The prize instead of sitting back like he's the prize. He is the prize. My baby is. But but I think that the tables need to turn a little bit, and women need to start standing up, like you said the other day, in your truth. Be who you are. Let him see who you are. And then y'all choose each other. You see what I'm saying?
The thing is, we have gotten to a point in relationships where the gender responsibilities and roles have been blurred so much that people don't even know how to function in relationships together anymore. The man trying to do stuff the woman's traditionally did or was responsible for, and the woman is trying to do things that's because. But the thing is, many times we're not living up to our responsibilities in relationships.
Come on.
It's so blurred and so skewed as to what each gender is responsible for. Relationships are just, that's why, and you know what? That's why we got men marrying men, women marrying women, and just, baby, it's just confusing as hell to me a lot of times just out in the public. It scares me. I talked about last week with the girls. I was sick and tired of seeing men with hips. You know what I'm saying? Little boys walking around the store in tight jeans with hips. When the hell that started happening? I'm just like, are you serious? I was like, how in the world do a man develop hips? Baby, I don't understand it. I'm just throwing out. I mean, the world is confusing me. That's why I stay in my house, in my relationship, because I know I'm comfortable in that, because you are a woman all the way. I am a man, and you love being a woman. Let me tell you how I know my wife is a woman and love being a woman. When we go to the grocery store and we get home and the car is full of groceries, my wife get out of the car with her keys and go in the house. That's all she gonna do. She gonna go in the house and sit down on the couch and watch me bring all the damn bags in.
And I ain't taking no trash out.
Have you ever, in our relationship,
tell y'all something. My son is in the boot camp for the Marines right now, getting ready for his. And let me tell you something. He is one of the men you ain't taking the trash out.
Right.
He is one of the men who he wish he would see you lift some. I'm getting ready.
Exactly.
My listen, and he's a big old chocolate milk dud head Marine. You speak that. But
6 foot tall.
I made sure that my son understood that and listen, I know that I'm talking about for me. I'm talking for me and my husband and the men in my family.
Right.
It's certain things that men do, certain things that women do. But when you get into your relationship, y'all need to sit down and decide, who does what and what you
and hold them to it.
And hold them to it. Now, I draw the line at the trash, taking out the trash, and
because she ain't gonna do that. I promise.
But
that trash will overflow onto the floor.
I thank God.
I bet not see her grab that bag.
I thank God that my husband will wash the dishes and that he will cook. That's a blessing beyond the stars and skies. Okay.
But that's because I love.
But that's because he loved to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I will wash the dishes and clean the kitchen and do all that. But he loved to do it.
Right.
But guess what? I ain't taking out no trash. I ain't doing it.
And I better not catch you.
I told my husband one time, he was laughing at me. I told my husband, I will say this quick. Do I look like a man? Do I look like a dude? If I look like a dude, I'm going back in the house and I'm gonna fix that. Now, I'm not talking about, I ain't saying that I have a problem with people who decides to go and change themselves over into the opposite sex. I don't have no problem with you. I'm saying for me, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Because I just love how God made me.
And now the thing is, I will bring all the groceries in and sit them down on the table and all that. And guess what I do after I do that?
Sit down.
Go sit down. Because my wife is gonna go in there and organize and put them all up where she wants them.
Then he gets in the kitchen and say, "Baby,
where is that?
Where's
But that's our life, though.
That's our
I
life.
think that we cool with that.
That's
because
our life.
She don't get mad that I ask, baby. See, let me tell you what a real woman, crazy woman would say. Well, hell, you should have put the groceries up then. If you needed to know where everything was, but my wife would say, hey, look in the cabinet on this side. Or
I go in there and find it.
Or she often say,
look, but I will do this. I go in there and find I point it. I say,
there it is.
You see that?
And walk off. And then she'll walk off. That's her little smart mouth. That's who she is.
But like I say, let me start from the beginning. We were friends.
And
we became friends. Well, we still friends, but we became friends.
Right. Because
I had to show him, hey, I'm not gonna be with somebody that don't like me.
Right.
I'm not just gonna marry somebody and I got to be comfortable around you. Right. I got to be comfortable enough. I made that decision for the rest of my life and be married to you for the rest of my life. To one of us leave up out this place or both of us at the same time, however it happened, right. Then I'm gonna be comfortable with you.
Right.
You know, we're not gonna get into no now if we dating or whatever and you wanna be fly all the time and never have a hole in your sock or something like that, it's your business. But if you're gonna be with me, I need to see when you're mad. I need to see when you're sad. I need to see how you are with finances. When I found out my husband could save some money and I know that I was bad with it, I said, oh yeah, that's a check by that. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that he was a leader. You get what I'm saying? I'm a leader, he a leader, but I love to watch my husband talk. You know what I'm saying? I put a check by it. I said, okay, he needs a barbecue. I need to know if he barbecue. I need to know if he watch football. Because it's something about a man that watch football. I didn't say play the game. I said watch it.
Right.
And talk noise. Right. And play dominoes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had a father that showed me what a real man was.
Right.
And through all of my searching, right?
Mm-hmm.
My searching, y'all get that one later. My searching, I ran into a bunch of shipwrecks. But when I stopped searching and allowed my husband to find me, boom, I end up with a man that know how to be a man. I ain't got to tell him how to be one. And every day he ain't walking around every day. I'm a grown man. Who you talking to? I'm a grown man. He ain't walking around doing it all day long.
I don't need
that one's for free. We've been on here too long. Baby, go ahead. We're going to get off of here. It's been an hour.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, sometimes you get into, I just wanted people to be privy to the types of relationships that Daniels have in their household on a regular, even though we're sitting in the studio today, but we only here at the studio to be able to bring you a quality production of our conversations.
That's right.
But we are going to be offering these conversations, every week, sometimes twice a week, because I feel like
every Tuesday morning.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, I want to do this.
You want Tuesday?
Yeah, I want to do Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I ain't mad at you.
But the thing about it is, I think that black women, black men, need to get back to figuring out how to get past all the animosity, the past hurts, the anguish and pain that we go through with one another in relationships. Because relationships are the foundation of our strong community. Mm-hmm. And without the black family, we have no black community. See, and you can't be a family in two different damn households because you can't even stand the woman you done procreated with or the man that you done procreated with. Quit picking them and choosing them if you ain't gonna stay with them.
And I'm gonna throw this in there for free. Sometimes you can't stand the person that you with because you done fixed your eyes on something else that you think is better for you. So it's not that you really can't stand your mate, it's that you're trying to find a reason to cheat. Boom.
Right. Well, you know what I always say, don't get with no greedy person. You know what I'm saying? A person who ain't never satisfied with what they got. You also need to look at your mate as a person. Is he satisfied with the things that he got?
Can I get one more nugget before we get off the
here?
Stop talking to that woman at work about everything that's going on in your household with your wife.
Right.
Somebody catch that later.
Yeah, that's fine.
What am I saying, baby? Huh? You gonna fix that.
What are you saying about that?
Yeah, when you talking to that lady at work about your wife.
Because she's going to start giving you every answer that you want. She can sit there and listen to you in your conversation and tell you what you want to hear. And next thing you know, she trying to slide in your DM.
Yeah, next thing you know, that's in your head. This is who I should have been with.
It went from a general conversation to pillow talk.
To pillow talk.
For you know.
And
that's just not conducive.
And now y'all in the pastor's office trying to get married.
Yeah, that's just not conducive to a healthy relationship at home.
And you in the pastor's office trying to get married counseling and blaming your wife for stepping out. Let's move on.
Right.
All right.
When you was the one who stepped out first.
But
hey,
I've enjoyed.
That's a whole other conversation.
I have enjoyed
we might talk about that Thursday.
I have enjoyed my time with you. What about you, baby? You enjoyed yourself today?
Baby, I enjoy talking with my wife all the time.
Yeah, we've been talking about some
stuff. Conversations are.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all be praying for me because I am considering getting a TV station, and I just want y'all to be praying for me. Some people think you shouldn't say stuff, but I believe when you speak stuff out into the atmosphere, God moves on your behalf, because that means that's my faith at work. That's my faith at work. Amen. So I'm believing God for it. So y'all just keep us in your prayers. This has been the Daniels.
Yes, it has. Raw and uncut.
We shall be back. And disclaimer. No disclaimer. Love y'all, but we gotta go.